Ever wonder how eating just one meal a day could actually help you lose weight, improve your focus, and reset your metabolism? Well, in this video, I'm sharing with you what to eat and how to structure your OMAD plate, along with the biggest mistakes you need to avoid. So whether you're following one meal a day for longevity, improved energy, or weight loss, I have you covered. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski, and as always, it's a pleasure hanging out with you in this video. When we look at one meal a day, we're basically eating all of our meals within a 22 to 23 hour period. And this is where we are really trying to be more intentional with our meals because we're getting all of our nutrients in just one single meal. It's not about starving yourself. It's about eating more intentionally and making that one meal count. Because when we eat, it's very important to make sure we're getting the macronutrients and the micronutrients that are necessary so that we can thrive during this time. Following one meal a day is all about getting healthier and not just losing weight alone. Let's go ahead and talk about the foods that you need to have in your one meal a day food plan. Now, I first like to start focusing on protein because protein is very important. It's going to be important for maintaining lean muscle mass. It's important for your metabolism, and it's also important for satiety. People who do not get enough protein in their lives, they are essentially craving food all the time, a lot of times carbs and sugar, and they are also typically overeating. So we can actually solve that problem by making sure that we're getting plenty of protein. Now, if we were to really just kind of break down in a very simple way, how much protein do you actually need? What I like to do is I like to use this equation. You go 0.8 times your ideal body weight. And let's say that you weigh 200 pounds right now, but your ideal body weight is 180. Then we're going to go 0.8 times 180. And that's going to give you how much protein that you should have throughout the day. It's a very good baseline starting point. You may want to go up a little bit, down a little bit, but it's a place to start. Now, when we look at what type of protein is going to be best on one meal a day, we're looking at grass-fed beef, chicken, fish, and I specifically like to focus on fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. These are going to be the ones that are loaded with omega-3s and DHA, really good for you. Another good source of protein, also kind of falls in the fat category as well, is going to be eggs, and then your wild game. This is where I want you to really make sure you're focusing, making sure that you're prioritizing protein as you're eating one meal a day because it's very important for your health, and especially for longevity. Now let's talk about healthy fats, okay? Because we talked about first, prioritize your protein. Then let's make sure we're getting our healthy fats in there. They're important for your hormones, for your brain health, and also satiety once again. There's many studies out there that show that people who eat lots of good healthy fats find themselves more satiated and eating fewer calories. So we want to make sure healthy fats are definitely a priority for you. Now, some of the good healthy fats I like are going to be avocado, olive oil, cheese. Also, nuts and seeds are great. We want to make sure that we're eating raw nuts and seeds because they're going to be ones that do not have denatured fats in them. And also, whenever we take into consideration eating nuts and seeds, because they are a great snack, we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it. It's so easy to grab a bag of, some sort of nuts and seeds and just eat half of it, right? Well, the fact is they're actually really hard for our bodies to digest. So we want to go easy on these whenever we eat them. Now, another good option for healthy fat is just pasture-raised butter and also beef tallow. So there are many options out there. I'm just giving you the baseline of here's some of the main focus areas that you can actually implement into your one meal a day plan. And what I'll do at the end of this video is I will actually share with you a one meal a day food plan that will really help get you just kickstarted into this whole process here. Now let's look at your fiber-rich vegetables, okay? We talked about proteins, fats, now fiber-rich vegetables. These are important. This should be a big bulk of your one meal a day eating plan. And because I told you there's a high priority to focus on very nutrient-dense foods, I'm gonna start with the most nutrient-dense fiber-rich vegetables and then go to the least, okay? So what this would include is kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, cucumber, peppers, squash, which would be like spaghetti squash and also summer squash. And also the squash kind of falls into your carb category too, by the way, your healthy carb. and then zucchini, and then your cruciferous vegetables. I oftentimes like to steam these different vegetables because they're easier to digest, and especially when you're doing one meal a day, what you're going to find is that you're eating a lot of food in a short period of time, so making it easier on your digestion is always a good thing. And so there's a lot of benefits to steaming these different vegetables in order to help break them down a little bit. So those are your fiber-rich vegetables, which are going to be the bulk of some of the foods that we want to eat during this time. I also want you to focus on eating some carbs, but clean carbs. And I know that there's plenty of people on the internet that are constantly telling you carbs are dangerous, carbs are bad. That's not true. What we want to focus on, though, is clean carbs, because as I have mentioned many times now, we want to be very intentional with our eating. If we are not eating good nutrient-dense foods during our eating window, we will find a lot of trouble during the fasting window. It just won't go as well. You won't feel well, and you're not going to get the benefits of the fast like you normally would if you were eating very healthy during your eating window. So some examples of healthy carbs are going to be things like sweet potato, quinoa, some legumes, and also berries, right? Berries are micronutrient dense, low glycemic. We want to think of strawberry, blueberry, raspberry. These are all great options for us. And so these are going to be our clean carbs. And these become far more important, especially if you're very active or you're exercising regularly. And the benefit of eating one meal a day and eating at night and then putting those carbs in is those carbs tend to make you sleepy and also sleep better at night. So carbs at night improve quality of sleep, something very important to remember. Now, hydration is something I want to look at too, because it's very, very important. And what can we have during this time when we are following one meal a day? Well, we can have water, sparkling water, obviously. Also, herbal teas can be good during this time. Coffee, if you're a coffee person, but you want to make sure that you're not putting cream and sugar in it because that would obviously break the fast. So coffee is okay. And then also electrolytes, and lots of electrolytes, because if you're not staying well hydrated, you're going to end up constipated and not feeling good. It'll often lead to headaches and muscle spasms and so on and so forth. So electrolytes are going to be important during this time. I will share with many of the resources down below the electrolytes I like to use when I'm fasting, but this is important for preventing fatigue, headaches, and muscle cramps. Focus on your electrolytes, very important, because our whole point here is we're trying to improve our health. And you know what, OMAD, let me share with you this really quick. OMAD has tons of health benefits like rapid fat loss. Okay, and the benefit is that you don't have to track every calorie and you're still getting rapid fat loss, driving down your insulin and blood sugar levels, which is what allows your body to actually access fat for energy and start burning the fat, improved mental clarity and focus because you're increasing something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is improving brain health and quality of brain function, and has tons of cognitive benefits. You're going to activate autophagy. And this is so cool. This is where your body's repairing itself. And the fact is that some people will do a fast every couple weeks or maybe even once a month. Imagine if you're actually activating autophagy in your body every single day versus once a month. How cool is that? And how healing is that for avoiding, all these different chronic diseases so many people are suffering from? And the fact is too, is that when we do one meal a day, it offers a lot of freedom and simplicity into our eating. And this is really good. Now, I want to tell you too, there's some big mistakes that can be made when doing one meal a day. I want you to avoid them so that you actually find success with this. I've been doing one meal a day for many years, and I have always found success with it because I don't do these things I'm about to tell you. One is not eating enough, okay? This is not a starvation plan. We have to make sure that we're well nourished and that we are getting the amount of food that we need. Okay, so you really, if you have a hard time wrapping your head around this, you should go online and go to a calorie calculator, put in your age, your activity levels, your size, everything, and then get a baseline of how many calories you need every day so you understand what your meal is like. As I mentioned, I'm going to share with you a food plan that will help you kind of wrap your head around what a good quality one meal a day food plan looks like. Also, choosing junk food. Do not choose junk food because you are not only getting food that is low in nutrients, but you're getting a lot of very highly ultra-processed ingredients that are going to cause problems for you. And, you can still lose weight with one meal a day, but you can become unhealthier in the process if you're not feeding yourself right. Skipping hydration, as I mentioned, it leads to constipation, headaches, fatigue, all kinds of issues, muscle spasms. And then doing OMAD too frequently, okay? There is, the saying is too much of a good thing isn't always a good thing. Well, if you're doing one meal a day every day, there is a good chance that you are pushing a little bit too hard. There are many people who do this and it works out well for them. I like to do it about 2 to 3 days a week, a little bit of 16 and 8 intermittent fasting and a little bit of no fasting at all. And the reason I do it this way is because it creates a metabolic, I call it metabolic confusion, which ends up, causing metabolic flexibility, meaning that your metabolism is able to turn into a fat burner all the time because you are in a place where you can switch to being a sugar burner to a fat burner quite easily without a hard transition. And this has a ton of health benefits to it. So these are the keys to eating correctly during one meal a day. This is why we do it. And then also, as I mentioned before, I have a one meal a day food plan to help get you started. It's in the link in the description below. There's a lot of resources in there, from electrolytes to recipe guides to a cookbook that my wife and I actually wrote called Heal Yourself Cookbook that gives good meal ideas as well. But I am sharing with you a ton of great information. It's all complimentary in the description below, and it will help you no doubt find success with one meal a day. One meal a day, it's not just a diet, it's a powerful tool that will absolutely change how you feel, how you function, and how you fuel your life. I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski. Give this video a thumbs up, share with a friend who needs it, and check out this video next.